This is not my normal mic. I don't know if you can tell. I broke my other one. You're gonna go crazy. I made a script for this video. Yeah, I know, I'm a changed person. Welcome back to the MS.MYAKY channel. If you're returning, but if you're new here, hi. It's nice to have you. Okay, no more Maya yapping, here I go. This video is specifically about rendering the face, so I will not be going into detail about how I render hair or anything else. I'm going to start off with this base. I'm just using an old time-lapse because it's simple. When I render the face, I start off with adding blush, and I add it on the cheeks, lips, and bridge of the nose, but only slightly, and then some around the eye area, and mainly where I want to put the shadow. I usually keep in mind the different planes of the face, but I forget most of the planes, but there are general areas that I remember to place shadows, because I remember this thing. I'll put shadows under the eyebrows, but above the eyelids, under the nose, some on the neck, depending on where the light source is, and sometimes I'll add some on the side of the nose. Okay, I usually do, and then blend that out just to give a general shape of the nose. And then I add some shadow under the eye, but only slightly. Yeah. I will also add shadows where there needs to be shadows. So if there's hair, I'll give shadows under the hair. And a hat, depending on the light source, I'll also give it a shadow. And ta-da! The base is done. That is basic Maya shading. Hooray! Now for the actual rendering part. I just start refining. I'll make shapes look sharper where I want it to be sharper, like the sides of the nose. I add this thing by the corner of the eye. I try to make things look sharper but a little rounded. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. I like leaving harsh lines for harsh shadows. Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. There are little folds in the skin that I like to blend out on one side and then leave a harsher edge on the other just to make it, I feel like it just looks more natural. But that's just me. I'll usually do this by blending one side out and then using a lighter color to sharpen the edges. Sometimes I'll add red to the shadows and blend it out. Just to give it a little more, I don't know, something. Just adding one base shadow and relying on that kind of makes it feel, I feel like, more two-dimensional, I guess, but that's just me. I'll sometimes also add some orange on the edge of the shadow because of this concept of subsurface scattering or whatever. Okay, this is an important mention, but colors. I really like colors. I sounded silly the other day in art when I kept saying I like colors. Just like that, because I like colors. Picking colors that aren't too similar is great for harsh shadows. And what I mean by this is pick colors that have a good contrast if you really want that to make sure that shadow shows through. Transition colors can help make this contrast, like the shadow contrast, whatever. It makes it look less muddy when you're blending it out a bit, if you blend it out. And even if you're not blending it out, it makes it just less harsh. For a long time, I would turn everything into grayscale just to see the contrast easier. And so it makes it more obvious where the shadows lie. So if you pick colors that are too close to each other, they might not work the best for shadows. A random tip that helped me improve my art was high key the contrast thing. On the skin color, this random tip is what helped me improve my art high key. Like in the past when I had the skin color was like too close to the background, which I usually just left white, it made the artwork hard to look at. And so having a good obvious contrast between the subject and the background can help bring focus to what you want to be focused on. I also started using gray backgrounds too, or something that just wasn't white, just to make it easier on not only the viewer's eyes but my own eyes when working. When it comes down to rendering, I'm not gonna lie, I really don't know what I'm doing. I just go with the flow and hope everything goes alright. If I have messy lines, I clean it up and call it a day. Over time, you start gaining muscle memory and this whole rendering stuff becomes easier and you can start adding your own spin to it. It's always good to have a base though, and I hope this video helped a bit when it comes to my process, so you can have a base to start off with if you're lost. I'm really bad with putting my thoughts into words, so I hope I did it okay. Let me know what would make it easier, and if this is like this concept just not even concept, but the way I put my thoughts into words. If it didn't make sense, let me know. If it did, yeah. I think I'm gonna end the video here. It was very short, very simple. Um, we'll see how it's received. If it's good, I'll try making a hair rendering video and so on. But time will tell. We'll see if my English teacher gives me more papers to write. I know I'm writing a research paper, but we'll see how much time I have before then. But anyways, if today's your birthday, happy birthday. I hope you have a good rest of your day or night, depending on where you are. And if it is night, please make sure to get some rest, because rest is good for you. Stay hydrated, and toodaloo, gang gang. Mwah!